Every morning, we perform a ballet of routines, often without conscious thought. We brush our teeth, splash water on our faces, choose clothes, and prepare ourselves for the day ahead. These actions seem mundane, but hidden within them are some of the earliest signs that our brain may be struggling. It's not something most people think about. We associate memory loss or confusion with later stages of cognitive decline. But in truth, the first clues appear quietly, tucked inside our most ordinary habits. For years, neurologists have been observing these patterns. They've noticed how slight deviations in morning routines once performed without thinking, can be the brain's subtle way of asking for help. Maybe you forget whether you already brushed your teeth. Perhaps your shirt is buttoned incorrectly, or you find yourself standing in the bathroom, unsure of what you were about to do. These aren't always signs of aging. Sometimes they're small markers of something deeper taking root. The tragedy is that these early symptoms are so easy to dismiss. After all, who hasn't had a forgetful morning? But when these small slips begin to repeat themselves or occur in unusual combinations, they form a pattern worth noticing. The good news? Noticing them early can make a world of difference. It's odd. Not about panicking, it's about being attentive and giving your brain the structure and support it might quietly be asking for. This story unfolds through 6 common missteps many older adults experience in their morning hygiene rituals. But these aren't simply hygiene mistakes. They're windows into the brain's inner workings. The inability to complete a familiar task, the confusion between similar objects, or a growing resistance to once effortless routines, these are not just personality quirks. They can be early signs of mild cognitive impairment, a phase that, if addressed early, may be managed effectively for years. Each chapter in this narrative offers more than just observations. It shares practical, compassionate strategies for responding to these signs. Because sometimes, it's not just about remembering to brush your teeth or taking a shower, it's about maintaining independence, confidence, and quality of life. We begin this journey together. Think of it not as a list of things going wrong, but as a gentle call to become more present, more attuned to the rhythms of your morning. These early hours can speak volumes, if only we learn to listen. And by listening, we might just find ways to protect what matters most: our clarity, dignity, and peace of mind. Oral hygiene might seem like a simple routine, but it's actually one of the most telling indicators of how well the brain is functioning. Think about it. Brushing your teeth involves a sequence of steps: getting the toothbrush, applying toothpaste, brushing all areas thoroughly, rinsing, often performed without a second thought. But when the brain begins to falter, even this familiar habit can become disjointed. For many older adults, one of the first signs of cognitive decline is subtle. The toothbrush remains dry, the cap is left off the toothpaste, or brushing happens haphazardly and for far too short a time. These aren't just signs of forgetfulness or a lazy morning. Neurologists understand that these changes can reflect early disruptions in executive function, the part of the brain responsible for planning and completing tasks in the right order. When someone insists they've already brushed, even when the brush hasn't been touched, it might not be a lie. It could be their brain misfiring, blending intention with action. Research has shown that a decline in oral hygiene can precede a dementia diagnosis by 12 to 18 months. That's a significant window of opportunity. Recognizing these signals doesn't mean accepting defeat. It means having a chance to slow progression, to protect independence, and to safeguard dignity. So what can help? Start with creating a visual checklist posted near the bathroom sink. Keep it simple. 1. Apply toothpaste. 2. Brush for 2 minutes. 3. Rinse mouth. The visual aid reduces cognitive load and brings clarity. Some find it helpful to use a timer or even a toothbrush that vibrates or signals when it's time to stop. These cues reinforce routine and reduce the mental effort needed to track time. Good lighting is essential. Many seniors struggle with dim or uneven lighting in their bathrooms, making it harder to see if teeth are truly clean. Installing a mirror with strong, even light helps with visibility and promotes attention to detail. Placing necessary items, brush, paste, floss, neatly and consistently in the same location can also reinforce habit through spatial memory. More importantly, don't dismiss changes in oral care as unimportant. If brushing becomes irregular, rushed, or forgotten altogether, it's time to pay closer attention. These small clues often come before bigger challenges and can open the door to early medical support. Taking care of one's mouth isn't just about hygiene. It's about routine, memory, coordination, and even self-esteem. When those connections begin to unravel, it's not just the smile that suffers. It's a signal from the brain, asking for care. And listening to that signal, however small, can make all the difference. Choosing what to wear each morning may appear to be a simple task, but in reality, it is a quiet, mental workout. It requires planning, memory, decision-making, and spatial reasoning, all of which can be subtly affected when cognitive functions begin to decline. For many older adults, the first outward sign of this shift is found not in speech or behavior, but hanging right in their closet. When the brain struggles with sequencing or organization, getting dressed becomes more than picking a shirt. A person might wear the same outfit several days in a row, not out of preference, but because it's familiar and requires no new decision-making. Others might mix patterns in unusual ways, pair winter garments with summer shoes, or layer clothing in an illogical sequence. These mismatches may seem quirky or harmless at first glance, but they often reveal a deeper confusion beneath the surface. Another common sign is the neglect of newer clothing. Brand new shirts or trousers may remain untouched in drawers, while old, worn garments are rotated endlessly. This isn't a matter of stubbornness or routine. It can stem from trouble recognizing unfamiliar items or making choices among too many options. Even recognizing whether clothes are clean or dirty can become a challenge. The result? Outfits that don't change, socks that don't match, and sometimes a noticeable decline in self-presentation. So what can be done? The key lies in reducing complexity. Organizing the wardrobe in a clear, intuitive way makes a big difference. Try preparing complete outfits ahead of time and hanging them on labeled hangers. Monday, Tuesday, and so on. Including a photo of how the outfit should look when worn adds another helpful layer of support. Labeling drawers with simple words or pictures, socks, shirts, pants, also assists memory and recognition. Another helpful strategy is to gently introduce structure without taking away independence. Lay out two coordinated choices rather than overwhelming with a closet full of options. Encourage participation and decision-making, but offer backup when confusion arises. If someone starts wearing a winter jacket indoors in July, approach with kindness, not correction. Ask questions instead of issuing commands. Are you feeling chilly? Invites conversation and preserves dignity. Dressing isn't just about fabric and color. It's about identity, confidence, and self-care. When changes begin to show in the way someone chooses, or avoids choosing, what to wear, it's a moment to pause and reflect. Not to judge, but to support. These subtle shifts are not failures. They are invitations to notice, to understand, and most importantly, to respond with patience and compassion. Because often, the outfit tells more than meets the eye. Taking a shower is one of those daily habits that most people rarely think about. It's automatic, private, and often comforting. But behind this seemingly simple routine lies a surprisingly complex mental sequence. You must remember the order of actions, adjust the water temperature safely, handle slippery surfaces, and manage time and attention. For individuals in the early stages of cognitive decline, showering can shift from a basic task to an overwhelming challenge. One of the first signs something may be wrong is a noticeable drop in hygiene frequency. A person who used to shower daily might now do so irregularly or begin to avoid it altogether. Others might step out of the shower without rinsing off all the soap, or leave the water running without realizing it. These aren't simply lapses, they're signals that the brain is struggling with planning, sequencing, or staying focused during the process. It's important to understand that this isn't about laziness or neglect. Rather, it's the result of diminished executive functioning, the brain's ability to manage complex tasks. Even remembering to bring a towel or deciding whether to shampoo first or wash the body can become confusing. The overwhelming nature of so many small steps can lead to avoidance or frustration, especially when the person feels embarrassed to admit they're having trouble. Fortunately, there are ways to make showering easier and safer while preserving a sense of independence. One of the most effective tools is a waterproof step-by-step guide posted on the shower wall. For example, turn on water, check temperature, wet hair and body, apply shampoo, rinse, use soap, rinse again, turn off water, dry with towel. This visual roadmap reduces uncertainty and builds confidence. Installing a thermostatic valve helps eliminate the fear of scalding or freezing, which can cause anxiety or lead to avoidance. Slip-resistant mats, grab bars, and a shower seat can enhance both comfort and safety, making the experience more manageable physically and mentally. Clear storage containers labeled with pictures or large text help ensure that the correct products are used in the right order. Most importantly, establish a predictable schedule, whether it's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or a routine tied to another daily habit. Consistency reinforces the habit and reduces decision fatigue. Set gentle reminders or use calendar cues to encourage follow-through. If someone begins to resist bathing or seems confused during the process, it's not a personal failure. It's a message. And by responding with compassion, structure, and patience, we can transform what might feel like an obstacle into an opportunity to care for both body and mind with dignity. Personal grooming, combing your hair, trimming your nails, shaving, or applying makeup may seem like minor parts of the day. Yet these small rituals hold deep meaning. They reflect self-awareness, routine, and pride in appearance. For many older adults, a sudden decline in these habits can be a quiet cry for help from the brain. When grooming slips from being second nature to something forgotten or avoided, it often signals early disruptions in cognitive processes like memory, focus, and initiative. Think about what grooming involves. It's not just physical movement. It's the ability to remember what needs to be done, where the tools are, and in what order to use them. A person might begin forgetting to comb their hair or fail to notice when nails have grown too long. Some may skip shaving or apply makeup unevenly without realizing it. At first, these changes might seem like fatigue or disinterest, but when they persist, they can indicate that the brain is struggling to keep up. It's especially telling when someone who always took pride in their appearance suddenly becomes indifferent. This loss of attention isn't about vanity, it's about mental clarity and emotional well-being. Neglecting grooming can lead to feelings of isolation or embarrassment, which in turn may reinforce withdrawal and further cognitive decline. It's a cycle that begins quietly, often in the mirror, and ripples outward into a person's confidence and social life. So what can be done to support grooming without making it feel like a chore or a burden? The key is accessibility and gentle structure. Make sure all necessary items, comb, nail clipper, razor, mirror, face cream, are placed in a visible, easy-to-reach spot. Clear organization reduces the mental load and helps reinforce routine. Avoid drawers stuffed with unused products. Clutter creates confusion. Written reminders can also help. A sticky note on the mirror with a brief checklist, comb hair, check nails, wash face, offers direction without judgment. For some, setting a reminder on a phone or using a talking clock may be helpful, encouraging grooming as part of. A daily schedule also supports habit formation. Importantly, approach any changes with kindness. If your loved one's appearance shifts, start a conversation. Not with criticism, but with care. Do you want help with your hair today? Or, let's sit together while you shave, can feel supportive rather than controlling. Grooming is more than maintenance. It's a mirror of the mind. When the little things begin to slip, it's a sign worth noticing. With gentle support, even the smallest act of self-care can become a powerful anchor in the midst of change. A cluttered bathroom shelf may seem like a harmless mess, but when someone begins to confuse everyday hygiene items, it can reveal deeper cognitive challenges. Putting toothpaste on a hairbrush, using shampoo as body lotion, or mistaking mouthwash for facial toner are not simply funny mistakes. They're signs that the brain is struggling with recognition, sequencing, and logic. In the early stages of cognitive decline, the ability to identify objects and remember their purpose can quietly deteriorate. For a healthy mind, these tasks are automatic. You reach for the soap to wash your hands, the toothbrush to clean your teeth, the cream for dry skin. But as cognitive functions begin to fade, this automatic recognition weakens. The brain may still register that something needs to be done, but it can no longer correctly match tools to their intended uses. The result is confusion, frustration, and sometimes even risky situations, like putting a cleaning product near the eyes or ingesting something not meant to be swallowed. These mistakes can feel silly or embarrassing, but they should never be dismissed. They are among the clearest functional clues that the brain's processing has started to shift. When such behaviors repeat, they offer a vital window for early detection and support. And the good news is, the solution doesn't lie in scolding or supervision, it lies in simplification. Begin by reducing the number of choices. Too many similar-looking bottles and tubes can overwhelm anyone, especially someone with memory issues. Remove unnecessary items and keep only the essentials. Group them by purpose. All dental care items on one shelf, hair products on another. Use large, bold labels with both words and images, like a toothbrush icon next to teeth, or a comb beside hair. Clear containers or open trays also help, allowing the person to see what's inside without opening multiple packages. Consider using color coding or stickers for easy visual cues. Even small design changes can make a big difference when the brain is under stress. Routine reinforces memory. Encourage a specific sequence every morning, repeating the same order each day. You might even print a visual guide and tape it near the mirror. Simple steps with matching pictures, from brushing teeth to washing the face. Over time, this structure provides not only clarity, but comfort. Most of all, if you notice these errors in yourself or a loved one, don't laugh them off or hide them in shame. See them for what they are. Gentle nudges from the mind, asking for a little extra care. With thoughtful support, even confused moments can lead to clarity and better days ahead. As the day winds down, we often retrace our steps without realizing it, turning off lights, closing the bathroom door, putting things back in place. These final rituals, though quiet and quick, are important markers of mental clarity. But when the brain begins to falter, these closing acts of the day may no longer be automatic. The light stays on, the faucet runs, the towel remains on the floor. Small details are left unfinished, and over time, these moments begin to form a pattern. It's not simply forgetfulness or distraction. Neurologists understand that this behavior reflects a weakening in the brain's ability to carry tasks to completion. The term for this is task termination failure, and it often emerges in the earliest phases of cognitive decline. A person might begin brushing their teeth but forget to rinse. They might start applying lotion but never finish the job. Or they may look in the mirror and walk away mid-shave, forgetting they began at all. What's happening behind the scenes? The brain is losing its grip on sequencing and sustained attention. Normally, we can manage brief interruptions and still complete what we started. But when cognitive function weakens, even small distractions, like a sound from another room or a shift in thought, can derail the entire process. The person may genuinely believe they've finished the task, unaware that something was left incomplete. This matters more than it might seem. These unfinished actions can compromise hygiene, safety, and self-esteem. More than that, they are early signs that the brain is calling for support. Thankfully, with gentle intervention, much can be done to reinforce focus and restore a sense of control. Start by creating a simple checklist and posting it where it's visible. On the bathroom door, the mirror, or the wall. Something like 1. Turn off water. 2. Turn off light. 3. Hang towel. 4. Put items away. 5. Take medicine. Use large, clear fonts, and, if helpful, include pictures. These lists help anchor attention and guide the brain toward completion. Timers and auto shutoffs can be useful too. Motion sensor lights, automatic faucets, and pre-portioned toiletries reduce reliance on memory. Some find it helpful to keep a small routine card near the door, checking it before leaving the room. Most importantly, recognize that these little slips are not laziness or carelessness. They're signals. If you or a loved one starts showing these patterns, it may be time to speak with a healthcare professional. Early attention can lead to early support, and with care, what begins as a missed step can become a new beginning, one where clarity, independence, and dignity are protected one day at a time.